Yo, what's going on there? YouTube's SCL0320 representing JVS. I didn't know I would do this, but I needed to be able to talk about it while it's fresh in my head because I was doing some research on it. So, I've watched episodes 7 through 10 of Iron Fist Season 2. As a whole, I really did enjoy Iron Fist Season 2. I'll say that from jump. I think that, honestly, they've stepped it up in every shape or form, from the physicality to choreography, cinematography. Story is a lot more tangible. Characters are a lot more engaging. There's like thought behind what their actions actually are. And I think characters like Colleen, that's got so much depth, Davos, a character that's got like so much depth, it makes you want to see more, which that's one of the most engaging things about Luke Cage Season 2. Matter of fact, going into episode 7, and the first thing you see is like Danny, like his knee is messed up, like he's got several pins in it, like he is messed up. Like, I thought that the cinematography for that was excellent. And on top of that, the second episode to follow that up, which is episode 8, I love those slow burning episodes because then there's a build. There's like, all right, you're gathering the understanding of where this is going to end, where this is going to kind of conclude, so to speak. And it was something about Davos training that other group and then Colleen training the Iron Fist. Like, both of them are technically living weapons, you know, regardless if they have the fist or not. Like, they are living weapons, but yet, you know, they're imparting upon themselves that they need to either, one, teach and implore people to do something, or learn and give everything up away. And that, to me, is kind of the metaphor for the back end of the last few episodes of the season. Now, this is where I'm kind of like a little back and forth for certain things. So I did some research on Colleen Wing. In so many different respects, Season 2 honestly is about Colleen Wing. Like, honestly. Like, it is really more so 50-50, if not 70-40 her way when it comes to this season. Like, they go through the backstory about her mom, they go through the backstory about her lineage, they go through the backstory about her grandfather, and in subtle ways. BB, that was sad. That was real sad. I think that was unnecessary, matter of fact. Like, I feel like that would have been somebody that she could have gone and just kind of raised up, or it could have been, like, to me, like a brother. Like, it could have been legit, like her biological brother. That's where I thought they were going with it, but no, it's just like, okay, we're going to use this person as influence to push her into being the new you know what. Anyway, BB, you got, of course, her relationship with Danny. And see, this is where things get a little hazy. In episode 7/8, Danny knows that he needs to be trained. But Colleen, I guess, knows that the only way she can accurately train Danny is to give up all ties with him, relationally. That she has to give up her relationship with Danny in order for him to be fully trained and without any kind of remorse, and her to cut, you know, everything out to do that. I kind of feel like, honestly, they're trying to course correct something that was not in the comics, where Danny Rand and Colleen Wing, based on my research, were never in a relationship at all. Like, they were really close friends, they really liked each other, but they never really in a relationship. But what I knew from what I've seen through all these different seasons, even in the Defenders, you know, they got a love relationship. Matter of fact, like, the things that their relationship have are different properties of a marriage. Like, legit, from, you know, I think, matter of fact, what won me over with their relationship was when they were dealing with the whole the dinner, and just how real Colleen was, how even though she knows that Danny was dealing with this, like, she was supporting him and helping him and motivating. Like Colleen is a real one. Not only is she a great character, she's great in this show, but she also is like a ride or die, yo. Like, for real. Like, she makes up a great relational character, okay? And so what I think that Netflix was trying to do was bring her back full circle to her independence, of being an individual, and she pinging more so off of Misty than she does on Danny, that's comic book accurate. But what it does, it undermines my perspective of like their relationship. Like, I'm shipping the relationship now. You already started this. Now you're gonna cut ties like that. And on top of that, what makes it so hard is, Danny is like, I don't want this power anymore. Like, I feel like you would be better served. Like, you are more focused. You know who you are. But every hero, it's not that easy. You can't just pass off, what you have inherited, what you put yourself in line to do, to pass it off to somebody else to take up your mantle just to do it. It's kind of just like the equivalent of like Batman being like one day, hey, yo, Nightwing, come over here. You're the new Batman. And I am just going to kind of fade over into the black. I'll help you whatever way you need, but you are the new Batman. That's it. Like, I'm going to enjoy my life. I'm going to go and do my thing, That's what that kind of felt like. And it was like, I don't know. Like, it just kind of like took me back a little bit. Like, I was like, was that really that necessary? Like, what I thought they were going to have to do, as soon as he mentioned, like, no, Colleen, you need to be this, I was like, no, they're going to kill Colleen. But I don't know if what they did was any better, because they passed it on to Colleen. And it's kind of just like, wait, what? On top of that, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, Orson Randall. You don't know who Orson Randall is, and I'm pretty sure you don't. Like, that's the thing that, from a critical side, you shouldn't have to know who Orson Randall is to understand how Danny was able to not only dual wield guns with the mystical arts, but at the same time, for the first time, using two fists to do it. Like, we didn't even really get to see my man use two fists just on his own. So it's like, you ask yourself, like, where did this come from? How does this make sense? And what they did was they blended the comics with the reality. Now, Orson Randall, my dude, he does have the ability of utilizing both fists, and he does use guns, but he doesn't have to use an actual gun. Like, he can just use his fist to do whatever, because he is before Danny. He was the Iron Fist. He was the Mortal Iron Fist before Danny. So he doesn't need a gun, but he's using them. The way they kind of played it off was kind of just like alluding to, okay, now Danny has his guns. Like, now he is able to use the abilities of Orson Randall because of the guns. I was lost in that. I don't even understand what I'm assuming was, months later, him and Ward went and found Orson Randall. He got some kind of training there and realized that he still has the ability of being able to use, the fist, so to speak. But I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of got lost in translation, because I was so jaded the fact that, Danny just gave up what he was supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, like, you catch a wind, like, of, Colleen Wing's heritage and, like, the Pirate Queen. And it's like, oh, wait, this is going to allude to Orson Randall. Like, and then it kind of just happened, and I was like, I don't know, it's caught me off. I don't know if maybe it caught you guys off guard, but it did me. And I feel like some people that are not comic book enthusiasts or understanding of who the characters is from a mythological standpoint, they might get lost in the sauce, because one, you take away one relationship that you kind of built, and then on top of that, like, technically, is this now Colleen Wing's show? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, if it hadn't been for the very last thing that happened, I would believe that. I'm like, okay, Colleen is the new white, fist. She is the new Iron Fist. So, I don't know. It kind of, the last two episodes, I'm kind of indifferent about. It doesn't take me away from the season, but I feel like if two things would have happened. One, we would have actually gotten just a fight between Davos and Danny utilizing the Iron Fist. Just them two fighting with the Iron Fist. Red Fist, Yellow Fist, just them. I wanted to see that, right? And I didn't get that. Like, Colleen beat Davos in so many different regards. So it was like, man, I feel like this is a Last Jedi situation. I wanted to see Danny with the freaking mask. Because one of the things that BB grabbed when he grabbed the freaking bowl, in the back of the bowl, I felt like that was where the mask of the Iron Fist was. So I was like, where the flip did the mask go? Don't answer that. You do find out where they were building on with Colleen and with the Queen and with Orson Randall. You get that. But then they allude that Colleen's mother dropped off the whatchamacallit. But in the comics, Colleen's mother died. So that kind of got lost in translation. My man Ward, the dude that plays Ward, Tom, you are a great actor, man. Like, you are the best actor on this show, man. I've said it every single episode, but it's true. Like, he is a great dynamic actor. And the metamorphosis his character goes through, it's tragic, man. Like, he just trying to out here being a father, dog. Like, he trying to make it, bro, but he can't. And, I mean, he gets some kind of resolution with his sister Joy, but I don't know. Then, your girl, Mary Walker, Alice Eve nailed that role, man. She nailed it. You find out she got a freaking other personality that we don't get. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know, why didn't you just show me, man? Like, I feel like the things that I wanted, I didn't get. And the things that I got made me feel like I alienated the enjoyment of the season that I already got. Maybe that's just me. But it's like, I was about to give this series like a 8.5 or almost close to a 9. And now, like, I'm in between a 7.5 and an 8 out of 10 just because my expectations, maybe I shouldn't have put in those things, but I feel like things were building to that. And then they would just kind of switch gears on me. And I don't know if I like the progressive character choices made. Even with Davos. Davos is a great villain. A great villain. But yet, you know, he got his joint stolen from him. He got knocked out. But, you know, it seemed like him and Danny had that conversation. It's like, it is what it is. Like, if I was Davos, yo, I would be trying to break my own, like, hands trying to kill this man, because that's everything he's fought for. You know, regardless, like, don't go back and say, oh, give me some quips about, well, you'll never be this, and you'll never see me coming. I'm not trying to dog. But anyway, I'm serious though. Like, that is not how I would have perceived him to react to having Iron Fist stolen from him. Like, I would have thought that man, I would have let that actor be like, yo, go off. Do what you got to do to just go off. Because everything about what he's been trying to do, he was trying to do for his mom. His mom. And it was kind of just like, you got in the face about that. So what do you, that's your response? Like, give him a quip? It's just, I feel like, I don't know. Either way, I couldn't give this anything less than 7.5 out of 10. But I feel like if they just would have made some certain choices, like, bruh, if I would have got Danny and the gosh darn mask going and fighting crime, and all of a sudden his gosh darn arm, you know, his arm, or not his arm, but his hand, all of a sudden, like, that joint just starts glowing, and then it goes and engulfs into like a flame in his whole arm. Yo, something like that would have been lit. Let me see this ninja fight Shao Lao. Why? Why would you sit there and give me that build up in the very beginning of the 10th episode and not show it? I think I've come to like the show. That's why I'm so passionate right now. Initially, if you go back, research, if I'm suffice to say, I don't think I put any of my reactions of Iron Fist season 1 up. I think I only had like maybe 2 reviews up because I just did not care. They made me care. So, I've been talking too long. I'm out of breath. Let me know what you thought. I know it's kind of spoilery. Me and my man CJ from 3 Black Geeks, we're going to be doing a spoiler discussion tonight. I don't think it's going to be live, but we're going to be recording it. It's going to be posted up on 3 Black Geeks podcast site. So definitely check out 3 Black Geeks. But I definitely wanted to go over episodes 7 through 10 and kind of how, it switched gears so much that I feel indifferent about the series because of it. It's just certain choices. Because the reality is Colleen Wing does not have in the comics the fist. She doesn't. Now, what they did say in the comics, based on my research, is that something happened where her mind was being manipulated and, Danny helped her and some of his ability rubbed off on her where she could be able to use her chi to be able to self-heal and have more tolerance for certain things like that. I think if they would have went that way with it, but they didn't even go to comic with it. They were just like, and I feel like this is what it feels like. It feels like they did that because they felt like season 1 was a failure, so we're gonna make it appear that Colleen is the new Iron Fist because she's a more interesting character, which that might be true, but all the work that they've done to improve Danny this season has been undermined because of that realistic fact of what they, in my personal opinion, that's what it feels like. And that's not any shade to Colleen because I love Colleen. Like, her with a white fist is freaking dope, dog. But it's like, that's not the story that you built. It's not. It doesn't make sense. So, and it's not in the comics. And so what it makes it feel like is that, you're not trusting, the progression of this character, Danny, is something that, people are going to rally behind. But I feel like if you would have just showed this man with 2 fists burning, bruh, and he going giving Davos those hands, if that would have been the last thing you saw, bruh, I'm telling you, bruh, that joint would have got a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10 from me, because that's all I wanted to see. Let me see him fight Shao Lao. Let me see him fight Davos with his abilities, and let me be able to see this ninja with a freaking mask. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting way too passionate. I'm going to calm down. Let me know what you think. Please leave a like. And reactions for every single episode will be released out on Patreon tonight. Okay? Well, between tonight and tomorrow. It's going to be a little rough. But keep it locked. JVS, we ain't going to stop. Check out the Iron Fist. If you kind of feel like I'm undermining it, don't. It's way better than the first season. The cinematography is great. Actions is great. Characters are better. Story is better. It's a better show. It's way more serviceable, way more enjoyable. I think you'll have a great time with it, regardless of all the nitpicks that I'm talking about, which some nitpicks, did dilute some of my perspectives about the show. Not gonna, undermine that, but yeah, keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Later, guys.